Next guy, man, is a guy who I drafted everywhere, and I want to go back to September and August and punch myself in the face and punch myself in the face again because I have Cam Akers in about 3 leagues, and I bought into it, and I thought he was going to be what Kyron Williams was. I was like, the guy in that role is the guy I want, and I was all in on it being Akers. It wasn't. Of course, he gets traded, and now this really sucks for him. An Achilles injury. Is this something that's like, I'm not going to say career ending, but like it's his second one, right? Like this doesn't sound good.
It's career threatening. That much is for sure. 1 Achilles tear is career threatening. 2, I don't know of a single skill position player that's come back from 2 Achilles tears. I know Brandon Brooks, the Eagles guard, had 2, and he came back and played well, but that's a totally different position and totally different physical demand.
Is this the same one or a different one?
No, this is the other Achilles.
Oh my gosh.
So it would actually, I mean, neither would be good, but
no.
What we know from the medical literature is that most people never fully regain the strength or the muscular endurance of that calf Achilles complex. So now he's got not 1, but 2 calf and Achilles that likely are not going to ever be 100% what they were when he entered the league. So that's going to impact acceleration is the big one, change of direction. Top end sprint speed is affected too, but running backs rarely even get to their top end speed unless they're breaking a long run. So it's really the acceleration that is very, very impacted by this type of injury. We are, of course, the Aaron Rodgers discussion comes up where he had this new procedure, which maybe Akers will get that same procedure. I believe, Akers is in Minnesota now, not LA, but I'm pretty sure the surgeon that did Rodgers' procedure is out of LA, which doesn't mean that Akers can't go to that guy.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if he has that procedure, which clearly has a advanced aggressive rehab protocol. But still, this is the largest tendon in the body. Needs to take on up to 10 times your body weight in force. He's a 220-pound back, so that's 2,200 pounds of force he needs to be able to withstand. This is going to be a big challenge for him to return and be competitive in the NFL. Hopefully he can do it. Obviously, you're dropping him in redraft. If I have him in Dynasty, if I can get a 4th-round draft pick, I will gladly take it.
I fear this is, and even just really listening to what you just said, I do fear this is a career, again, threatening is, I guess, the word we'll use. I just don't know if he's going to be fantasy relevant again, because even before the injury, he was basically vanishing into thin air in terms of fantasy relevance here. But just a guy that never materialized for me, man. Again, I had the faith, but, just on not LA anymore, of course, on Minnesota. Still got Madison there. I mean, I guess this is just going to mean more carries for him, even though he continues to be one of the worst running backs in football. But listen, he's trusted by Kevin O'Connell. Guy to look at, maybe, who I don't even think is that good, but just a name to look out for. Ty Chandler, maybe, just possibly rosterable. Scoop him, throw him in your last bench spot and see what the hell happens. But in the game last week, some positive news. At least another great story there. Josh Dobbs beating the Falcons after being traded to Minnesota. I don't even know how many days before. Dude, the post-game cigars, or, oh no, that was the Raiders, but the post-game celebrations, the post-game, he was just, people were going nuts for him. And I'm very happy for him. He's a good guy. He's a good quarterback. I didn't even know the guys on the field he was throwing the ball to. But the good news is he beat Arthur Smith. So here's my regular weekly scheduled 30-second discussion on the Falcons. Arthur Smith, he just sucks ass is what it comes down to. Tyler, he just continues to use the bad people. Here we go. Once again, it's the story of the year. Tyler Algier, everybody. 12 carries for 39 yards. Equals not good. Equals 3.3 yards per carry. Well, guess what? He out-carried Bijan, who had only 11 carries, and by the way, 51 yards and 4.6 yards per carry. Much better. Bijan, 2 catches for 8 yards. Cool. Algier had 2 catches. You know how many yards? -9. That doesn't sound like he's going the right direction, right? Neither is Arthur Smith's brain. I went to the New York Marathon this week and hung up a sign in the streets of Manhattan that said, fire Arthur Smith. I'm excited, and hopefully, I keep talking about that game, Tom. Hopefully, the Cardinals pull it off this week, and I'm celebrating in the streets as Smith does get fired. But Ken, back to Cam Akers, who started all this. Again, we wish him the best of luck, and I just think it just means more for Madison, and again, a possible boost to Ty Chandler. All righty.